is hole 13 long at Dellwood, and I'm going to try to show you how to play it. S-line PD2. Hey guys, welcome to my first ever YouTube video and my first ever in the bag. So this season was my first season with Discmania, and honestly it's probably my favorite bag lineup I've ever had. I have a couple discs that have been in my bag all season and then a couple that I haven't even thrown yet. So let's get started with the drivers. I carry 4 PD2s, the 2018 Eagles PDJ National Tour winners. These two are my go-to for any headwind, any super overstable shot, anything that I need to flex. Probably my go-to distance drivers all season long. Next for the PD2s, I have another S-line. This one I wrote Flippy on because I got a couple of this exact same disc, and this one just happened to go the furthest out of all of them. I use this for any time I need to get far in headwind. The last one and the newest one, shout out to Cole Wehrman for this. He just randomly gave it to me at, I think it was DeBerry a few weekends ago, and I love it. It's a crusher. It's good for my sidearm since I can't throw them that far. It'll still flip up and go. Love it. Can't wait to throw it next year. Next we'll go to DD3s, which I've lost a lot recently, so I only have 2 in my bag right now. This one, this is from Damon. He dyed my PDGA number into it and gave it to me, I think as soon as I got onto Discmania, so thank you for that. This has been one of my go-to flicks and overall distance. Probably my favorite of the bunch, but least used now, is my old pink DD3. I got this in my first ever shipment from Discmania, and I've been beating it up and throwing it ever since. Now it's strictly for sidearms and roller shots. If I ever backhand this, I'm probably messing around. Next up is Fairway Drivers. I carry 3 FD3s, ranging in stability. This is the most overstable. I got this from Sean McGowan in Florida. I'm sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong. This has been a go-to for me lately because it's the most overstable and I need more of these. One that I've been throwing all season, I think Nate Perkins gave me this one after I lost one at Silver Cup, I believe. This has been my go-to for the later half of the season. This was my go-to all season. This is my absolute favorite one, but it is starting to get a little beat up and not nearly as overstable as when I got it. Dustin Riles gave me this, and it was one of my first Discmania discs I've ever gotten. Next up is the C-Line FD2. I really like this run. I can't tell you exactly which one it is, but it's pretty much board flat. It's very straight when thrown hard. I like using it for low ceiling shots, sometimes little sidearm chip shots. Yeah. I throw 3 FDs, starting with the most used, and this was actually one of the only Discmania discs I actually had in my bag prior to this season. Danny Beauchamp gave this to me. I use this strictly for rollers nowadays because it is very beat up, but absolutely love it. Will always be in the bag. Another Nate Perkins gifted disc. man, once again, I lost my night strike, and he was kind enough to give me another one right away. Same tournament, same day, and everything. And this is my go-to. I love this disc. Through the woods, straight open shots, long turnovers. Everyone needs one of these. The newest FD to the bag, still pretty brand new. I wanted to mess around with a really, really domey one. And this thing will just absolutely pick up and glide forever. It's good for really long shots in the woods that I've been trying to work off my distance drivers. Next up is my mid-ranges. So since winters came around, I have put 2 new ones in the bag, but currently I am bagging 2 MD3s, the brand new Iron Samurai 2s. These things feel absolutely awesome. And my other Glow MD3 is starting to get a little flippy, so this has been a perfect addition to the bag. Old and trusty, also from Dustin Riles. He seems to have given me all my favorite discs this season, so once again, super huge shout out to you. This thing has been a workhorse for me. Every time I want to throw a mid-range, this is pretty much the one I grab for. It's nice and flat, feels good in your hand, has a nice little bit of flexibility. Any gaps, I always go for this disc. Another new one to the bag, which I actually got my first throw ever with today, but I've been wanting to try these for so long, is an Exo Hard Method. I used to throw rocks all the time, so this is the closest feeling thing in my hand, and it's almost even better just from the few throws I've thrown with it today. It's flips up and dead straight even right out of the box. I can't wait to throw it some more. Next up is the Not So Swirly MD5. This one has been a go-to in my bag all season long. It's the most overstable plastic, I think, for MD5s. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments, because I'd really like to try something beefier than this. I've used it for all my flick up shots. I don't throw backhand up shots quite yet. I'm learning them. That's what this off season is for. So this thing has really been a go-to for me all year. Another go-to has been the Metal Flake MD4. I can rip this as hard as I can and it will hold this straight and still have the right to left finish at the end. It feels just like an MD3 in your hand, so it's almost like you're throwing the same disc with a completely different flight. I can even throw this on some straighter sidearms and really like this one. Haven't ever been much of a putter thrower. They just kind of feel awkward in my hand, but I do carry a couple. First up being the most mid-range of them, the Tactic. I love these gray swirly ones, hard. Used it strictly for sidearm up shots. I try to backhand it every now and again, but always been the go-to for my sidearm up shots. Next up is the Link. This has been my go-to throwing putter all season. I've really gotten comfortable with it, and it's finally starting to get beat up enough to turn over on its own without me really having to throw it hard. I've used this for a lot of sidearm turnover up shots, a lot of turnover backhand up shots, and gonna try to work in some other throwing putters as I get through this off season, but we'll see. For now, it's the Lynx. And last up, my putting putters. I had just switched about a month ago to these Exo Soft Lynx. I switched from P2s. Once I finally felt these, it was just I had to, and I absolutely love how they fly. I've been throwing them all season, and now I'm using them for putting. Can't wait to work a little bit more with them this off season, but yep, these ones are the go-tos. The bag for the season, as always, a grip bag. I was using a fairly beat up one all year, and Mark Agel and Mike Z were able to give me these new ones, so I'll have some fresh bags for a while. Also, make sure to leave a comment about your favorite Discmania disc and why it's your favorite Discmania disc for a chance to win this sweet swirly MD3 that I got out of the shop at Dellwood this morning. Thank you guys.